failure of the Suns' big three?
It's the failure of the Suns' big three. But I want to say a superstar is official.
Was born.
He's
here.
He is here. You understand? There was MJ. There was Kobe. And now there is Anthony Edwards. It's like that.
Did you just
Ladies
skip
and
LeBron?
gentlemen, a superstar has officially arrived in the NBA. When you see, y'all, a new day has arrived, and that's what this is. But I'm still going to talk about the Phoenix Suns. First of all, Frank Vogel is a champion as a coach. He's
With
on the
LeBron
verge of being
James.
unemployed. He's on the verge.
One and done?
I think he's going to be one and done. I think the Phoenix Suns are going to make a change.
Wow.
I don't know that's for sure, but that's what I've been hearing. I mean, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. Now, whether that's fair or not, I don't know. I will tell you this. They struggled miserably defensively throughout this year, particularly in the fourth quarter, and that was your signature. When you can't defend and you don't do stuff in the fourth quarter that you're doing in the first three quarters, and that has been your MO all season long, and it was never fixed, and you don't see the players really gravitating towards him, I'm not telling you the man can't coach. I'm not telling you the man doesn't deserve to be a head coach in the NBA. I'm telling you his future in Phoenix, in my opinion, I think it's one and done. I think Frank Vogel's going to be gone. You got Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal both making a $50 million next year. Devin Booker's at 49 plus. That's $150 million that you're obligated. I don't think this team is going to stay together. I think it's entirely possible that Kevin Durant's going to be gone. I'm not ruling anything out right now because this is a disaster.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it like this because I want to give y'all something to say. I'm not going to say everything. Here's what I will say about Kevin Durant. I warned him. I warned everybody that loves Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant. I said, he's a two-time champion. He's a two-time NBA Finals MVP, surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest offensive players we have ever seen, and it ain't like he didn't show up.
Right.
It ain't like he didn't show
Right.
up. But the bottom line is this. You left Steph Curry
Oh,
to
get
join
outta
Kyrie
here.
Irving.
Get out of
You
here.
departed from Brooklyn to go to Phoenix. The situation was self-inflicted. And that, especially when you go out like this, is going to be as, if not more, remembered than the titles that you won with Steph Curry.
What a sleazy take. What an unbelievably sleazy take. Because it was Stephen A who railed against KD. And as much as I hate to say it, Stephen A has pull. He has influence over the media and fans' opinions. So he easily could have said, I love KD. That's my dog right there. And I'm happy that he's joining Golden State Warriors. Hey, LeBron James, formed a super team and no one batted an eyelash. Like, KD's doing what he needs to. He can't win with Westbrook. There's not a lot going on in OKC. No one wants to play there. So he's going to Golden State where he can play pure basketball with great guys, blah, blah. He didn't do that. He said, this is the weakest move I've ever seen a superstar make. This is the weakest move I've ever seen. The weakest move I've ever said. The weakest move. And so now, he heard that. KD hears that. The fans repeat that. And so now KD is like, okay, I won. And now it's time for me to move on. I want to go somewhere else. Because of all that hate. Because the basketball community, for the most part, did not support his move to go to Golden State. And KD's a sensitive guy. And so he said, okay, fine, I'm going to go win somewhere else. And unfortunately, it was a perfect storm to have KD not succeed post Golden State. Because one, he blew out his Achilles trying to help Golden State win a third championship, which it's safe to say they would have won 3 back to back to back if KD was healthy. But he got injured, and he recovered, but he still missed an entire season of his actual true prime when you look at the age, as well as you never make a true full 100% recovery. You're never exactly who you were before. Even if some numbers consider that, it's just not true. Ask any orthopedic surgeon, ask any physical therapist. You can get to 99%, maybe, especially with these athletes, elite genetics and great, surgeons. But it's just brutal. Not to mention, even if you're playing well on the court, after the game, you're in more pain than you had ever been in your life. So it's also more psychologically and physiologically draining. Again, the best example of this is look at Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, with all his surgeries, has not missed a step. Obviously, he's going down now because he's getting older, but his surgeries, he's made recoveries, but he even talks about it. He goes, I've had like 10 plus surgeries, and not a day goes by that I don't feel every single one of them. And that's what happens. And again, I'm someone who's had a million different surgeries, a million different injuries as a whole, clavicle, knee, fingers, shoulder, everything, honestly. So I'm speaking from experience. So that is going to take a toll on you, combined with the fact that he's, getting older, which is unfortunate. He's had other injuries. And then he had he could have won with Brooklyn if Kyrie wasn't a weirdo and James Harden wasn't a weirdo as well. And again, I get it. I get that that's self-inflicted because he chose to team up with Kyrie, and so I grant that. But Kyrie also got injured, and James Harden, I think, was also injured. And, KD still almost on his back, almost led, the Brooklyn Nets to the promised land. So what he was going to do was going to be something truly special. But, it was the other circumstances out of his control. And then obviously the whole thing with which I never talk about it, but what happened in 2020, and then James Harden wanted out, and Kyrie was just like, I'm not going to play. And it was a whole disaster. It was a whole disaster. So I just don't put all that blame on KD, but I get that it was self-inflicted to a degree because he could have left. He could have left Golden State and then decided to go to a different team and not team up with Kyrie. So I get that aspect, but the fact that he left Golden State, there was so much pressure for him to leave. People to this day still don't even count those rings as his, So the fact that Stephen A helped lead that charge and was incredibly vocal about it is a disgrace. And because now he's saying, no, I can't, it's self-inflicted. He shouldn't have left Golden State, which is just sleazy, man. That is so sleazy. So sleazy. I just don't understand how he could possibly say that, because he is a direct contributing factor as to why ultimately KD felt like he needed to leave. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. If the basketball community and the media and the fans supported his move and recognized how brutal it is to win with a Russell Westbrook as your wingman and just being in OKC where a lot of stars, especially back then, do not want to go. They do not want to play for these teams. But he had to go somewhere. He had to leave. KD is one of the best basketball players to ever play the game. He deserves to actually be able to play by other great players, like LeBron James got to do with, Bosh, and, Wade and Kyrie, and Steph got to play with, I can't think of anyone's name right now, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, all of these other greats got to play with true other bona fide greats. Save your Westbrook fanboys. I don't want to hear it. Westbrook is not a winning player, okay? You could win with him if he's the fourth or fifth option. You certainly can't win when he's going to be sometimes the first option, sometimes the second. I don't care that he averaged a triple-double. That means nothing. Triple-doubles don't lead to championships. How do I know? Because look at LeBron James. Look at Kobe Bryant. Look at Shaquille O'Neal. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at all these players. You don't need triple-doubles. You could do lots of other ways, because not to mention, he pulls the team down in many other aspects and is obviously a poor leader. He's won nowhere, okay? And the only time he ever wins is with another person taking charge and being able to carry that team, whether it's PG-13, whether it's Kawhi Leonard, whether, I'm not telling you that Westbrook is a complete scrub or a bust of some sort, but if he's your number 2 or sometimes the number 1 and is going to be taking threes in the final minute and 30, that you can't win. You just can't win. You can't win. And so what did we all want KD to do? Just be lost on an island out there? So no, he left. What I do hope happens is that OKC wins this series against the Pelicans, wins the next series, and then loses. And then KD can maybe go back to OKC and help them win a championship. That would be an amazing story, and I would absolutely love that. But you know what? I'm sure a lot of basketball fans would still be hating on him because for whatever reason, it's so cool to hate on KD, like one of the nicest, most genuine, honest, sincere guys, and yet, we hate on him. So I don't blame him for, being unhappy in the league and wanting to wander and travel and try different teams, because he gets a ton of hate, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why, but I do know a contributing factor, and it's that man right there, none other than Stephen A. Smith. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you think? Is all this issues just KD just self-inflicted? And what moves do you think he should make next season? Let me know in the comments below. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.